maybe Laos and maybe all countries around the world, but we connected together to gain this purpose. Yeah, so we also make the network for international educators, for a mutual understanding between us, between together with us, and of course solidarity friendships around the world. So that's the best, I think that's the best products of my groups, and it's maybe your groups also. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Thank you. They have. And there is a connection, there's a bonding. First they are all strangers, and then they get to know they get to know each other. And finally everybody has their destinations. Some get off first, others have a longer time, so they get to know each other more and more, and finally bond and make friends and maybe even relate to each other. So, and everybody has their destinations just like we have in our life. That's about it. I mean, anybody who else wants to join in and say something more?
Yes, there's more of symbolism in this is our artifact. We are thinking the train itself is the journey that we have taken as different figures from different countries. And our final destination is here. We are all here. This is our coffee shop. We have arrived there. But in the way we had some stations. We had Washington, we have Frankfurt. But finally we arrived at our final destination, which is Bowling Green, and we are happy here with our different wheels, with our different brackets.
Ohio, everybody has access to the same curriculum, but do we all have the same qualified teachers? Do we all have the same building? Do we all have the same busing? Do we all have our students getting all the same kind of supports that they might get at one school and the other? So equity is very much what Martha said. Equity ensures that you are meeting the need of those populations or individuals, and scaffolding, like you said, those stairs, in order for them to have the access. Equality for me means a much easier way to say, well, everybody has it, so what's the problem? But here, which would address this redress. I mean, hey, address the redress. So it will address this, right? Because if we're at this table, and if we have those individuals there that did not have all of that, and we're offering you something to do, and if we don't have either the knowledge base or the resources, are you going to be as competitive, if that's what that situation is, as Kunwan? But you have you're equal in that you're sitting at the same table and you have the same assignment, right? You have the same thing. But you come with those gaps.
Yeah.
So that's what equity is. How are we able to, which is a social justice issue. So my sense in looking and reading through your bios and your applications, and typically for the T fellows that we've had, and particularly because you have gender as your issue, I'm thinking that this is the framework from which we work. That we think about the work that you're doing here as equity, as social justice. And I'm not sure, can we agree that we think about it in that way then generally? Anybody think not?
Either sort of two, well. So this person. Okay. This one will have two boxes. This one will have one. Well, this one is tall enough to see. Okay? So this equality, okay, and this equity. All right?
That's simple as that.
That's exactly right. But what do some people think? If everybody doesn't have the box, that means you're being unfair, right?
Yeah.
So it also brings into play our ideas and our thinking about what fairness is. Is fairness equality, or is it equity? So those are these big terms that are thrown around, at least in US society and most others. So usually they'll say, well, we're being fair because everybody has that equal. Everybody has the box.
Yeah.
It's your fault that you're short.
Right.
You know? It's not my fault that you're short. It's because I gave you what everybody has.
Yeah, exactly.
And what you're saying is exactly what everybody can't have the same because everybody's needs are not the same. And I want you to bring it right back to your classroom and think about how does that affect them, all of your students. And it's going to affect your decision making when you're planning. That's why we start off a little earlier with planning in this session. So anybody else wants to add anything there? Thank you.
The community, the parents, determine the social status of the school because they bring in inputs to the school. Fourthly, we talked about the repetition. Don't be surprised about the tertiary institution because we are saying for teachers to teach in a school, they need to have credentials. So those credentials will be awarded by certain tertiary institutions. So there are some tertiary institutions which have a good reputation, and those teachers obviously will be able to bring in positive educative measures to the school per se. And we have also rich curriculum which is obviously developed maybe by the Ministry of Education, by the teachers, by whoever, but if the curriculum is rich, it will benefit the school, and that becomes the cultural perfection of the school. The learner's cultural background counts a lot, like the linguistic background, because to learn a language you need to know your culture. Those two are interwoven. The politicians also have an impact because people vote, they choose their ministers, they choose their presidents. So if the development is top down, obviously it's going to have a cultural capital for the school. And then the budget, obviously everything is around money.